If I had to start investing in Canada again from zero, with no experience, no fancy knowledge, and just a regular job, I would not pick random stocks, and I would definitely not follow hype on the internet, because that's exactly how beginners lose money without even realizing it. The biggest mistake most people make is thinking investing is about finding the next big thing, when in reality it's about owning the right things for a long period of time and letting compounding do the heavy work in the background. So in this video, I'm going to show you a simple, beginner-friendly way to invest using ETFs, and more importantly, which Canadian sectors actually matter, so you understand where your money is going instead of blindly investing. Let's start with something most people don't realize. When you invest in ETFs, you're not just buying one company, you're buying an entire sector or even multiple countries at once, which reduces your risk and makes your investment more stable over time. For example, instead of betting everything on one bank or one tech company, you can spread your money across hundreds of companies instantly. And that's why ETFs are one of the smartest tools for beginners in Canada. Now here's where it gets interesting. Not all sectors perform the same, and understanding this gives you a huge advantage. In Canada, the economy is heavily driven by a few key sectors like financials, energy, and resources. Banks like RBC and TD dominate the financial system, and energy companies play a massive role in exports. That's why many Canadian ETFs have a strong focus on these areas. A great example of this is XIC, which gives you exposure to the entire Canadian market, including banks, energy, and major companies. This is a solid base if you want to stay invested in Canada. But here's the catch. Canada is a relatively small market compared to the world, and if you only invest here, you might miss out on global growth, especially in technology. That's where US-focused ETFs come in. The US market is driven by innovation, with companies like Apple, Microsoft, and Google leading global growth. A strong option here is ZSP, which tracks the S&P 500 and gives you exposure to the biggest companies in the world. Historically, this sector has shown strong long-term growth, and it adds balance to your portfolio. Now let's talk about something many beginners care about but don't fully understand: income. Some people want their investments to generate cash regularly, not just grow over time. This is where dividend-focused ETFs come into play. In Canada, banks and energy companies often pay strong dividends, and ETFs like XEI focus on these income-generating companies. This can be a great option if you want consistent cash flow while still staying invested. So how do you actually put this all together? A simple approach could be combining these ideas. You can have one ETF for Canada, one for the US, and one for dividends, creating a balanced portfolio without overcomplicating things. This way, you're not relying on a single sector or country, and you're letting different parts of the economy work for you at the same time. Let me give you a real-life example. Imagine two people starting in Canada. One person keeps chasing trending stocks, buying and selling constantly, reacting to news and emotions. The other person simply invests in a few ETFs consistently every month and does nothing else. After a few years, the second person usually ends up ahead, not because they are smarter, but because they stayed consistent and avoided mistakes. That's the power of a simple system. And here's the mindset shift you need to understand. Investing is not about excitement, it's about discipline. If your portfolio feels boring, you're probably doing it right. The goal is not to get rich quickly, but to build wealth slowly and reliably over time. If you made it this far, now you know not just which ETFs to consider, but also why they matter and how they fit into the Canadian market. In the next video, I'll break down exactly how much you should invest every month and how to build your portfolio step by step from your first $1,000. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Maple Money Mindset for more simple investing strategies in Canada.